President, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, is one person who does not mince his words when he is about to communicate matters that are in his heart. In fact, he does not keep quiet when things are wrong. And this is the reason why recently he lashed out at the Nairobi governor, Johnson Sakaja. While some experts say that Mr. Sakaja is a leader and the deputy president should have cultivated a way of calling him for a meeting so that they can iron out any differences that they have, others believe that Mr. Rigathi is right, because this marriage, the Rigathi-Ruto marriage, is one that was placed in convenience, and when things are wrong, experts believe that one of the partners must make noise so that the supporters should know that things are not going the right way. Now, on further scrutiny, I just realized that there are several things that are going on in this government that William Ruto supports, but Rigathi Gachagua is really against. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to try and look at some of these things that Mr. Ruto is doing or is supporting, but Rigathi Gachagua is really crying foul about. What are they? Before we look at them, kindly, if you're watching our channel for the first time, allow me to request you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Number one, I have just realized that the president recently did a letter to the two speakers where he is informing them to move very fast so that they can create an official office for official opposition leader in Kenya, something that is not in our constitution. Very many people have given their opinions on this matter, including some of very close allies of Raila Odinga. People like James Orengo, Otiende Amolo have said that this office can only be created through a popular initiative. But one person who has been very loudly silent on this is the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. As I said earlier, that Rigathi Gachagua is a man who is known to be talking. He does not mince his words, but he has been very quiet on this matter. In fact, I'm yet to hear any serious Mount Kenya leader giving his opinion. And it seems to me that when William Ruto wrote a letter to the two speakers, Mr. Moses Wetangula and Amason King of the Senate, two things happened. It's either he did not consult his deputy Rigathi Gachagua on this, or he consulted him but he refused to support this idea, and so William Ruto decided to go ahead with it. Because some quarters believe that America is also pushing the creation of this office so that Raila can tone down, because he had started really on a very strong note criticizing the government. So Rigathi Gachagua, we are still waiting to see whether he will speak. I've always made it a role to wait for Rigathi Gachagua on a Sunday whenever I want to hear what is in his heart. He always gives it out on Sundays in churches. So I've looked for him for 3 consecutive Sundays. He did not speak about the creation of this office, and it's therefore my opinion that he does not like it. Number 2 is the support that the president is giving Johnson Sakaja, as Sakaja carries out some of changes in Nairobi that are directly interfering with the investors from Mount Kenya. Mr. Sakaja started by ordering that all the clubs around schools should be shut down, and several of them have been closed. Many believe that majority of the owners of these clubs are coming from Mount Kenya. And in one of the occasions when William Ruto was presiding in an occasion of Twiga Foods, he gave his support to Mr. Sakaja, and he told him to go ahead and implement this and close and shut down all the clubs. Something that the deputy president did not like. As if that was not enough, Sakaja went ahead and gave directives that the vehicles that are flying Western, Rift Valley, Central should be evacuated from the CBD because he had created other places to where they can operate. Mr. Sakaja campaigned on a platform of decongesting Nairobi and eradicating the mess that Nairobi has always been known for. Now, this is something that the Deputy President could not keep quiet. After keeping quiet on the issue of closing of clubs, he realized that this was too much for him. And so he decided to go head on. And he chose Nyeri. That is why he went and he bashed Sakaja without mincing his words. So experts believe that there are several things in this marriage that Rigathi Gachagua does not like, and he has decided that enough is enough. He is not going to keep quiet. And I looked at it and I thought that the president is doing this intentionally to provoke his deputy, because he knows very well that when his deputy is provoked, he gonna speaks. And you see, when Mr. Rigathi speaks, you know what happens. He has done that thrice or twice or thrice, and when he spoke, experts say that this guy, because he's not even diplomatic the way he does it. The first time he did an interview, he said that the Kenya Airways was under state capture. And I realized that later when the president was responding, he steered away from the state capture thing. So the deputy president talked about state capture for several weeks and months, and he stopped it. And the first time when the president jetted out of the country after they had taken oath of office and Rigathi Gachagua was given the mandate, the leadership was now in his hands. He made statements that really shocked everybody, because he directed all those who had been evacuated from Mau Forest to go back there, stay there and cultivate it. In fact, in his argument, he said that he cannot understand why a government minister could remove people or order them to go out of Mau, yet they want Mau to be cultivated. So when the president came back, the president gave a directive that was very contrary to that of his deputy president. So whenever Mr. Deputy President speaks, I think ni kuharibu hatengenezi. The other thing that I believe that has got the support of the president but his deputy does not like is the elevation of Musalia Mudavadi. Recently, the president took a development tour in Western Kenya. In that tour, he reconciled with his nemesis, people like Francis Atwoli. And he launched several projects, including opening of an airstrip in Western Kenya. And he really met several leaders, including governors that are serving under the Azimio. And they all gave their support to work with President William Ruto. Now, one unique thing that happened is that before the president took this tour, he sent his deputy on some cross-border errands. The deputy president was not in the country. I think he was in Angola or some African countries. And many experts thought that he knew very well that the matters that he was going to discuss with the Western leadership was not going to be very palatable for his deputy president. So the first thing he did was to send him to be outside the country. And if you look at Mudavadi is the first leader in Kenya Kwanza who told the Kenya Kwanza leadership to stop politicking. And he told them that politics is over. Let us now embark on a program to implement all the promises that we gave to Kenyans. Statements that many experts believe that were directed to Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. So by visiting that place, launching several projects, Rigathi Gachagua is one person who does not support Why? He made it very clear that those who came to Kenya Kwanza and did not deliver votes really are not entitled to be given anything. In fact, on that day they were on some Thanksgiving Sunday service where he really showered praises to Mr. Speaker Moses Wetangula. And he said that Wetangula has been given the speaker position because he brought votes. Remember, Wetangula gave about 255,000 votes to Kenya Kwanza, something that is still eliciting a lot of debate, because in the Supreme Court deliberations, one of the Azimio lawyers said that Bungoma was at the epicenter of massive vote irregularities. But those supporting William Ruto believe that he won fair and square. And the statements of the Deputy President were also meant to go to Mudavadi, whom he thought should not be given anything because he did not give much votes. Remember, Raila Odinga defeated William Ruto in Kakamega, where Mudavadi comes from. So these two leaders are not reading from the same page. And I also believe that William Ruto is enjoying this kind of cold war between the Chief Minister Mudavadi and the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Why do I think that the President is enjoying this enmity? While creating his cabinet, the cabinet posts, he made sure, the President ensured that some of the roles were shared between Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua. And this is supposed to make sure that sometimes there will be cross-cutting, and there will be several altercations. Who is supposed to do this? Who is supposed to do that? So by trying to elevate Mudavadi, I can assure you that not only Rigathi Gachagua, but the entire leadership in Mount Kenya does not like this. The second reason why they don't like this is because they believe they gave William Ruto more votes than Musalia Mudavadi. They voted to the last man, and so they are wondering why several projects must be taken to Western. In fact, if you ask our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, he has always maintained that they must be given the lion's share of the cabinet positions, and they have no apologies to make because they voted for Kenya Kwanza. They believe that they're ones who made William Ruto to become the president. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, when there were the MPs were voting into the EALA to fill positions of East Africa Legislative Assembly, the president is believed to have instructed the UDA members from Rift Valley to fully support Winnie Odinga and Kennedy Kalonzo. And there was several outcry and crying foul from leaders, the UDA leaders from Mount Kenya, where they accused their counterparts from Rift Valley for uniting to vote out representatives from Mount Kenya. And this really almost rubbed them in rough shoulders. It took the intervention, I think, of the president to calm things down. I remember the governor of Muranga saying it very clearly that the die has been cast because they saw the real character of their counterparts from the Rift Valley. Immediately after this incident, I saw a change. Rigathi Gachagua, he started uniting. He's on a mission now, trying to unite leaders from Mount Kenya around him because he realized hapa ni kubaya. This had the support of the president. He instructed them to support Winnie Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka because he has realized that for him to work smoothly, he needs these leaders who many still believe are his opponents. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this is just the beginning. There are several things that are happening, and very soon we will see how things transpire.